that. What we're going to do today is we're going to try to go over the valve adjustment process concisely so you guys can, just see another point of view. To get those covers off, you need like a flathead screwdriver or something wide. I noticed something wider like this is going to give you a little bit more leverage so you don't ding it all up on the corners with the small flathead screwdriver. You're going to need a 10mm wrench to get the cover bolts out. And you're going to need a 14mm wrench to turn that crank lever. And then the most important item, I got this one from AutoZone. It's a filler gauge. This one is OEM Tools 25025. And the most important thing about the filler gauge is making sure you have the proper measurements for the valve adjustment you need to make. And that is 0.002 millimeters and 0.003 millimeters. And there we are, 0.002. And 0.003. Okay. I'm gonna try to explain it as I go. So I'll be using these vice grips to hold this larger size washer to make like a screwdriver to take this cover off. It made it easy. Almost feels like plastic. But inside there, see there's a little oil, not very much, a couple drops. Inside there, that should be a 14mm socket that we had over there. And then we also need to take this off so we can see the lines of the engine position. I like to use one of these too because I've already got a couple nicks from a screwdriver. See, that was pretty easy. Just loosen it and then you can hand turn it. Don't take that thing off. Don't even touch it. Okay. So we're gonna have to crank this counterclockwise until we see the lines. But before we do that, we're gonna have to take the cover off so that we can see the position of the valves up there. Not the valves, but the lifters up or down on the intake and exhaust side. Let's get the 10mm wrench. It shouldn't be really tight. It should just be, I guess, a normal type torque. Let's go ahead and get that first one on there. Well, that's pretty tight. They were tight. And let's get this one loosened. That was probably about 25 pounds of pressure there. Maybe should have it like about 15. Let's loosen this side. It's up here, actually. A little bit higher than I pointed out. There we go. I was hoping I can do that without having to tap it. So yeah, I'd say about 20-25 pounds on each side. My wrist is a little sore from riding, using that, the throttle. Maybe I don't have my hand in a proper position, need to work on that. Okay, so now I can loosen this one by finger. Let's hit the other side. Now by loosening that one, these tightened up a little bit. I dropped the wrench. Yeah, so you can make this fun, concise, and easy. This is kind of dreaded, you don't hate to get in here, opening up the engine. I guess some people do. Some people like it. They say, I did the valve adjustment so many times. I guess it don't hurt to do it over and over again to make sure you got it right. I might put a little silicone spray on these bolts because they look like they're getting a little rusty on the top. Okay, that one I can finger loosen. this one. Oh, this one I probably got tied on me. Let's see if I can reach around there. I felt it there. There it is. I like to put these screws back in the same exact spot I took them out of. So let me see if I can lay them out in the pattern and put them back like I got them. This one over here. And there's a little trick to lifting this thing off too. You have to like do the tilt thing, front, back, back, forward, something like that. Let's see if we can figure it out easily. I've done this like, this is probably my third or fourth time now. Okay, and this one was in the front. So, back left, right, back right, the front. This, get some wires here for my contraptions. Kind of lift it up. It comes over, it slides out. Like that. See that rubber seal on there? Want to make sure that stays in place when you put it back. And then here are your, I gotta learn all the terminology for these things, but these are the valves which you're gonna adjust these little things in here, and these rockers come up and down. You got your intake and your exhaust. So what you want to do is go around there and crank that lever to make sure you're in the right position, which is called top dead center for your timing. And there's going to be a T. Okay, for this, you're going to need your 14 millimeter. Let's just make sure, okay, we have it, that's tightening. We put it on loosening, which is counterclockwise. And that fits nice and snug. So what you want to do is look at your exhaust valve as it goes, till it goes down. And then your intake valve will go down and come back up. And then you want to turn it until you get to your T mark. I'm going to see if I can zoom in and show you that as I go. So the first thing is getting on the compression stroke. So I'm going to turn the wrench counterclockwise as we watch the valves go up and down. The exhaust valve needs to go down, and then this one goes down and up, and then we're set. Right now it's in the down position, and this one's in out position. Okay, so the kickstand lever's in my way, or the shift lever's in my way. So I'm gonna turn this, I watch my hand there. And wow, it just popped. You can see here, this is the, there's a line there, it looks like. Is that the T? I know there's another line by the T. Let me look in there closely. Yeah, you'll see a T and then the line next to the T. That looks like it. So that'll be top dead center. But right now it's not in a compression stroke, I'm pretty sure. So let's crank it. You can see that one went down and up. Okay, let's do it one more time. I don't see the exhaust turning at all. There it is, it went down. Now the intake. Down. And back up. I'm gonna look for the T again. I want to do this twice just to make sure. Looks like you entered on the marker again. I can't really see it, guys, so I see something there. with the camera, but you see how it turns? That was not the mark with the T. I don't think it was. It's a mark with the line. We're gonna keep turning and see if we can figure it out with the camera on it. So you see that little line, then you know it's time to start looking. Not a whole lot of turns, really. You can hear the ratchet turning. I'm not even really turning it that far because the shifter is in my way. Okay, so there, it went pretty fast. You need to turn it as slow as you can so you can see those marks when they pop up. And then see what it was, if it actually went past or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through this process that is explained. So you see the T right along the notch here at the top. You don't want to line it up at the T, but you want to line it up at the line, just to the right of the T, right along that notch. And you see the valves haven't moved, but if you turn it anymore, they're going to spring back again to the next. Okay, so you want to gently turn it without going past that point. Damn near perfect. You got your T just to the left of the line, and you see your notch there. Now we have to go up here and check the spacing in the valves with our filler gauge. We're going to start with the intake and the 0.2 millimeter to see how that fits in there. 0.002 millimeters to see how that fits in there. Camera going to be a little shaky because I'm going to move around while I do this. I'm not going to put it on a tripod. This is real life, baby. Okay, so with one hand, I'm going through these little gauges here, looking for the 0.002. The sun is blinding me. I don't know where to start. I think I was going in the wrong direction. There we go. Ooh, those are flimsy. You can hear it's like a foil. Look. That's how thin that is. That's why when you check it and you don't feel any clearance, because it's not really any there. Not supposed to be. So we're just gonna do an inspection. Slide this in here. Also just slide through there. Ooh, nothing. It's not going through. They've gotten tighter. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Is that damn perfect? Just sliding through. It's tight, but that valve is perfect. I mean, look. Take the filler gauge. Just glides through. I can loosen it up just a bit, but not glides through. It's not leaving any marks or any trails. Just gliding right through. Okay, so the intake valve is good. So you don't want to take the bolt loose and then start inspecting. Once you take the bolt loose, you messed everything up. You're gonna have to go ahead and then adjust them at that point. So you want to check them before you take any of those two top bolts loose with your 10 millimeter. If the exhaust one is good, then we're good. So let's go ahead, since we have this 2 millimeter, this 0.002 millimeter out, let's go ahead and see if it slides in there, or if the exhaust has gotten too tight for that. I mean, I do feel a drag, so that's you may have to loosen. I feel a drag. I feel a drag, so we're gonna try to 0.003 and see if that's too tight. That went out. Put these other ones back. You can tighten it down like that. And that's pretty tight. I mean, I don't want to have to force it in there. It slides in there pretty easy. Just like the other one is. It's butter. It's not too loose, that's for sure. It's just got a perfect drag on it. So these valves are perfect. And I could take the spark plug off and take a look at it. Oh, look, it's not even barely any brown around it. I was running it lean for a long time. So right now we're good. I just adjusted the idle recently. Idled it up. I had it idle so low for the longest. You want to make sure all your tubing is tight there. You don't have any exhaust leaks, any air leaks. That really messes up the performance. So all we have to do now is just replace the cover. So I've been riding for maybe a week at least, but I'll adjust the tire pressure. You can hear hope that sound in the background. Not too bad for you guys. That's how it is up on the avenue when the traffic is slowed down. People think it's a drag strip now. Either they're racing it or just driving through, exhibiting their loud music. Slide it back up in there like you got it out. Almost like a puzzle, but once you learn the formula, you know, it's not too bad. Seal is still in place. Didn't fall down on you. And I'm going to put them in the same way I took them out. The same. Oh, I do want a little bit of, it's not too bad. But I could put some silicone spray on there. Put some lubricant. Nothing greasy or oily. Just maybe help protect it a little bit. That was the worst one. This one doesn't look too bad at all. And let's go ahead and get these back in here. So it's not too difficult. You know the whole process. You know, it's a little bit longer than trying to record it. Whole thing will maybe take you 10 minutes, 15 minutes once you learn a procedure. Let's get this open in over here. Go on the other side instead of going straight. Oh, also, besides putting this, you have to put these caps back on. A lot of times when you do this, you'll worry, did I have it on a compression stroke? Did I do it properly? You know? You always second guess yourself. It's kind of normal. You don't want to mess up your bike. But it's pretty simple. I mean, people always say it's easy and simple. It is, but I mean, that one little thing can cost you. Once you start running funky, that's a clue. If it ain't running right, you gotta start it up. See what it sounds like. Let's go ahead and tighten this back up. Not too tight. I think they tighten up by themselves over time. Make sure they don't fall off. Finger tight, the valve bolts, get them all finger tight, and then we'll tighten them up, crisscross pattern. Okay. Let's go. One turn. Start with one turn. And inside. We'll go ahead and put a second turn on here. Go back around. That was tight enough right there. 2 turns basically. Almost 2.5. This one, this is the second turn. Second turn. Let's see if this turns again. Okay. That was a half turn. That was a full turn. So I guess I got some more finger tight than the others, but yeah, that's it. That's snug. That's snug. The other one was snug. We're gonna check it again. That's still snug. I think it's more snug, so we're gonna snug these down more before we go back over there. Let's go with this one. Bam. Bam. Same thing about 15, 20 pounds, I guess. And this one. Let's check. That's tight. Okay. Let's start her up. The moment of truth. Oh, I don't have the gas. I have the reserve tank on. Yesterday on my last delivery, I ran out of gas. I knew what it was because I pulled down like 2 houses in front of the house I was supposed to be at. And then I was like, oh, let me pull up. And it wouldn't start. So I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and walk it up there. Came back, hit the reserve, and started right up. But we're going to go up to the BP today. And fill her up. After I go keep the gear on. Check on. Here we go. Make sure I got enough gas to get to the gas station, so I was going to